Hello. All right. Okay, just setting up. Gonna wait a few minutes for everyone to join in. I am Melissa Stendahl, a physical therapist, pelvic health specialist, and today's live is going to be a Q&A and meet and greet with Claudia Stendahl. She is my sister-in-law. We have the same name, last name, and she is a motherhood coach. So we're going to learn about that. Hi. Okay. Hi. Alrighty.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you hear me well?
I can. What about me? Also good?
That's perfect. It's something very Brazilian, like we do thumbs up. Like at least like now it's very familiar because like in a Facebook, all the social media, like people do like the like.
Yeah.
But it's just something so familiar in Brazil. You like that's
All right. I can do it.
it's just so cute and Clarice like
She's doing. That's awesome. She's your mini me.
how are you doing
Well,
today?
I'm just going over what we're going to talk about today, and we'll give a few more minutes for anyone else to join in before we go into the questions, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I have my coffee. Everyone else get yours. I mean, I realize for Pacific Coast, it's like 8 o'clock in the morning, so
Quite early.
oops. Well, I'll save it. It'll be
Yeah, in
recorded.
Colorado, it's like
Yeah.
9 in the mornings. Like my friends, so it's gonna be 9 in the morning on Saturday. It's like, yeah.
Come on. If you have a kid, you're probably
Wake up
awake.
anyways, right?
Probably awake. Get this over with, and then you have
Yeah.
your rest of your day. So, yeah. So we're gonna ask questions and let you tell everyone what a mom coach is. I know what I've learned from you is how valuable this person can be if you need a mom coach or would benefit from one. And as a physical therapist, I know that mind and body healing is one, and so a lot of physical healing. I'm recommending that people look at their lifestyle, and it could be nutrition, it could be stress management, it could be exercise. Those are some of the big obvious ones, and it does affect tissue healing and pain perception. And so when it comes to coaching positions, I'm always so curious to learn more. And I didn't know that there was a thing as a motherhood coach. So that's really awesome that it's like a formal thing you can, it's a resource. So,
Yeah.
so certainly for postpartum healing, I'm very curious to learn more and just to be able to hopefully introduce that through you telling us more about this to other people, because I think it would be really helpful for some people.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
everybody, probably all of us.
Yeah. Like to become a mom, it's just kind of like another like relationship that you have to build in your life, right? Like if you start a new job, you have to get used to the whole situation, like the new environment, the new friends, the new tasks, and all that, right? So
Exactly.
in the beginning of a relationship is the same thing. Like you have to fit, like it takes time to fit like in a good relationship, in a good pace with the person that you're having the relationship. And with motherhood is not different, like this little
Right.
tiny baby comes to the world, you figure out that relationship, you get to know them, you get to know yourself, because once you have a baby, everything
Different.
changes in
Yeah.
life. Yeah.
Yeah.
So motherhood, like it's like a mom coach comes and that way to help moms to figure out like who they are from now on.
Yeah.
So
Such a good way of saying that.
yeah, so like you look at yourself in the mirror, it's like, who am I now? It's just so much going on. It's like hormones, on like new tasks, new relationships, your dynamic of relationship with your husband changed. You know, like
Yeah.
everything it changed a lot and takes some
And
time to adjust.
with everyone, really.
Mhm.
Your relationship changes with everyone. The time you have, the priorities.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
Exactly. And like just to kind of like uh tell a little bit like about me, like
yeah,
I'm
I
like
want to. I want to know. I want you to describe your background, like
yeah,
where
yeah.
you're from and how you learned about this. Yeah.
So my name is Clarice Stendhal. I mean Melissa's sister-in-law, and I'm originally from Brazil. I have been here in the United States for almost 12 years now. Um, it's funny when I met you. I met like my husband. I didn't speak much English.
I prefer that.
It was like mostly like waving and smiles, but
Yeah.
here I am. Of course, like still making some mistakes, but able to communicate. So I have a degree in journalism, um, and I have a certification with a PCA, Professional Coach Alliance, like it's a international coach certification. And then couple months ago, I just got another certification as a mom coach, specifically just for moms. Um, and then all the certifications. I work as like a teacher, teaching Portuguese as a second language and all that. So, but since I was pregnant, I knew that I want to work with something like helping people. You know, like teaching Portuguese for me, it was just like super fun. Love it. But motherhood just really touched my heart in a way that it just I need the help. So and like just finding the group of support, like it just got me why I should do that like for a living, right? Like it just so many people need that support.
You found a
um,
support group.
yes, I did.
Was it with a motherhood coach or was it like a
um
mom? Like what
it,
kind of support group was
it
that?
all the way around. So I didn't have that support. I used to live in Denver, so I didn't have that support, like, and I had like my suggestion for moms, they don't have the support, build yourself. So that's what I did, because in the beginning, for me from Brazil, I had my own way to care for my child, you know, like the things I learned from Brazil. And I it was very tiring for me from the beginning to kind of like try to explain and prove to people that I was
Yeah.
doing the things they were right for me. So I had to learn how to do that, because I'm not from here. People have no obligation to understand from where I come from. So I have to have the emotional intelligence to kind of like with grace, um, explain how things are important to me and the way it works well for me. So it's kind of like prioritizing yourself. Yeah, like that's the thing about like mom coach. We are not helping moms to take care of their children. We are focusing moms needs, moms feelings. It's just all about ourselves. um,
Yeah. And we need more of that. We need more
yeah,
of that.
yeah.
It's
So sometimes like when you say mom coach, people can get confused, you know, like they need help with their children, like they are going through terrible shoes or whatever.
oh,
uh,
yeah,
that's not mom coach job. That you have to have like look for like a parental coach,
got
uh
it.
not a mom coach. So anyways, I just got in that, and I'm really like happy that I got that path, because it really like in my heart like warm and happy. So
Good.
anyways, that's like why I got into mom coach. But yeah, so mom
And
coach
then,
is like helping moms needs and help like moms like with their own path.
and how did you pick your name? Can you pronounce your business name and
Oh
explain what
yeah,
that
that's a fun
means?
thing. That's a
Yeah.
very Brazilian name. So
Yeah.
aconchego, the name is aconchego, and aconchego means a safe place to be. It's where you feel loved and embraced. That's what it means, because that's what I like most missed when I had Clarice, like finding a group or like a place that I felt like home. You know, like people could have
Okay.
empathy and understanding me. So
Yes.
basically, aconchego means it could be like your parents' house. You know, like when you smell like your mom's food. You know, like your
Yes.
like your grandmother's hug. It's just like a place that you feel yourself and loved. So that's the
Okay.
name for uh, for my business. Aconchego, like that's my goal. Make moms they feel like you feel like I'm holding their hands. They are feeling embraced. I understand there where they're coming from, and I'm here there like to help them. So
I like
that's
that.
what
It's really
Aconchego
good.
means.
Yeah. You mentioned something about making sure to differentiate mom coaching is to help moms,
Mm-hmm.
not how they parent, but with as a mom, as a person doing their
Mm-hmm.
job as a parent. And so, yeah, that just resonates so much with me because trying to advocate for mom care for postpartum, for me, for the physical aspect with physical therapy, is something I'm always doing of trying to make sure that parents know their options postpartum for physical recovery because it gets kind of glossed over. It's just like, oh, medically you're fine. You're, 6 weeks later you're good to go, but there's so much more recovery and rehab that happens.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it can become very emotionally stressful if you feel like there's no support for that or if you don't know what the options are. So I'm just so glad that you found this work and
Yeah.
are out there. Yeah. So what is an example of some things that you would help someone with? Do you have a couple examples of specifics?
Yeah, that's a good question. It's a trick too, but it's a good one. Like you know, like as I said, like when moms like become moms, like you're not born as a mom. We learn how to be a mom, and this time, this process, it can take like different time for each mom, for each child. And I feel like as you saying like about birth, like many moms feel like their birth was not exactly how they planned it. And motherhood is all about that, losing the control, dealing with the unknown. And some people, they don't find like a easy way to deal with the unknown. You know, like before children, we can like make a list and accomplish those things you have in your list, right? Like once you
Right.
have like a child, uh, things they're not in our own control. Like we're dealing with another human being. So dealing with those emotional new like emotion, like it just kind of like um it's a learning experience. It takes time,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I would say like working with moms, the way I help, if you can like see like a full puzzle. Sometimes moms comes with one piece of puzzle, like that's my issue. You know what
Okay.
I mean? And talking through, like we do like one of the tools I really like is the tree of life, that you go through
Three.
like tree of life.
Life. Okay.
Yeah, so you go through like your past, your childhood, your like present, your relationships like you have it on your like your own present, and what you're looking for your future. So sometimes like moms come with a piece, that big puzzle, so that's my issue. And I help moms to see the full picture, what it
Okay.
really matters. You know what I mean? Because we see like a lot moms like, oh, my life is a mess, my house is a mess, that's really bothering me. What it really matters right now. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just snuggling with the baby is the most important thing right now. Like the mess we can clean up later. Someday you won't have that mess in your house anymore. House will be completely clean and you will miss that moment. So I help, like it's easy for us to say, but it's not easy to feel. So that's a process. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that's one like thing. Like and sometimes you come with this piece of puzzle that thinking that that's the issue, and we have to readjust because it's not that piece. It's another piece.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like one like example I can give to you, see if I can summarize. Like a client I had, um, and she came to me saying, I'm feeling overwhelmed. I work outside of the house and I still care for my child. I wish my husband could help more, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So, and I was talking through like dad with her, and she told me how was her childhood, how she was raised with like from her grandparents, how her mom was like fighting to kind of finish her school and then have a good job to take care of them. Um, so she has that empowerment, that she needs to work to like give that
What
all that
she
she.
learned. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay.
And then like we came talking about like her husband, how like she was so proud, she was so proud of him, how their relationship, like how was the beginning, what did she most admire on him, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then like to summarize the results like that we found together was that she didn't let her husband really care for her child. She
Mm.
was micromanaging the relationship in between them. And it was like, why you don't try? And it wasn't like in a therapy, it was like kind of basically, we don't do therapy, like just sessions, like exercises to let her give space to her husband do in his own way. Because it's, oh, I
Yeah.
can trust him. I admire him. He's like a good man. He will be a good example for my child. Like, why not? So
Yeah.
sometimes like
Kind of like helping someone realize patterns that they're doing and ways to help manage that better.
yeah, so you have to step
Yeah.
back a little bit, find ways to kind of like step back a little bit. So the
Yeah.
first step that she found was helpful for her was bedtime routine. So he
Okay.
was doing like 4 times in a week, something like that. She was going to the basement, having her glass of wine, and having time for herself, and that let them do their thing. She was not like, she doesn't know like if he reads stories, if they pray, like she doesn't know. He was doing
Let's
his
into
own
it.
thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I mean, also summarizing that to you, it was a process, you know, like which steps I can take to change the situation. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and it's one thing that I always like in the first year of motherhood is really hard, find time for ourselves. And sometimes we don't find, we have to create time for ourselves. If you wait for the time to find time for yourself, you won't find. You have to
Gosh,
create this time for you.
that's like anything. I mean, that's kind of like anything. I think we can all be busy with whatever comes at us if we let it, um, and yeah, finding ways to make time for things that are important and like I hear a lot of you also like some of the through the example you gave, like having to let go of some things.
For sure. Yeah.
Um, Maybe
It is
not
an
necessarily a
exercise.
control issue, but like just
Yeah.
your way of thinking and
Yeah.
what you
Yeah.
thought you needed to do. And yeah,
It's an exercise. Everything new in your life,
yeah,
the first couple times you do it, feels like you forcing yourself to do something you don't want to. But
hmm
if you feel that's the right thing for you, do it. Like, but
yeah,
also just kind of like respect yourself. Don't do
yeah,
things because your neighbor's doing, because your friend is doing. Like, don't compare yourself with other mothers, because you're like, we are like, it's always I say something that in Portuguese, we are all the same, but at the same time completely different. We are unique, you know, and you have to respect your own self and your child. Like, I think like when you're first time moms, we also like always like find ourselves comparing our child. Oh, she's speaking, but my child is not speaking.
oh
Oh,
yeah.
she started
I mean,
like,
we
don't.
have these standards of like what they're
Yeah,
supposed to meet, and then part of it's curiosity, but part of it I think you do get like caught up in.
expectations.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, that happens with physical health too. There's just so many parallels.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think how moms need to be supported in different aspects of their life, and it's comparison is a big one. Like I'm glad
Yeah,
you brought that up because it's uh, good to constantly remind. I think with social media too, right? Because you can see so many tidbits of everyone's life, and a lot
for
of it is
sure.
just the really good tidbits. It's like the pretty picture, right? And
Yeah.
so, or the achievement, like your kid did something, or you took your child somewhere, or whatever, and it's hard to not compare automatically. So
Yes. Yeah, I would say
yeah,
like just be kind to yourself, because the first year of motherhood can be like challenging for some moms. Maybe not, but some others it will be challenging. And just respect yourself, because doing like a mom coach, you can realize so many things that are like that you have to break cycles. You know what I mean? Like you go through like your childhood, things that you maybe love it, you want to keep it. And some things that you didn't agree and you're not in a power to kind of like to do different in a different way, right?
Yeah.
Like and now you don't want to do the same thing to a child, so you have the chance to break the cycle, and like a mom coach will help you to see those things.
Okay. Okay.
And it's like that's something that's important too. It's like you will find your own answers. Because I don't know about your life. You will tell me things, and through your talk, you will hear yourself and oh, I didn't realize that. You know what I mean? So we
So
will
you
be
help to point those things out. Yeah.
speaking out loud and guiding you through like questions, exercise, and using coaching tools will help you to see things that you maybe didn't see before, you know.
Gotcha.
So that's the way we work, doing some exercise and like just going through everything, past, present, what you're looking for, your future, how, like, what are the steps you need to take to achieve something in a new future.
So it could be like a specific problem, someone comes to you, or broad too, like, hey, I just feel overwhelmed. I need to figure something out. Like you get both specific and general help.
Yeah, we'll like help this mom align her cell goals. It's the way like because like you have everything. It's like you I was reading like one of those like daily positive message for moms. You are the best mom your child could have. It's just kind of like you are the best mom. You have all the tools, like you're not missing anything. You maybe just need organizing all those qualities you already have. You know what I mean? It's just like we don't work with the things like you missing that, you bad. You know what I mean? You have all the power, all the positive things. You just need to organize your new life, your new path. You know what I mean?
So how long would a session be? Or does it vary? Or do you have like a 1 hour?
So usually sessions 1 hour. And we can do like in between 8 to 12 sessions. And of course, you always can play by ear if you need more or less than that. That's the thing. Like I'm not a psychologist. I don't do therapies. Like therapies, you can do like as many as you want, and it's like an issue that is deeper. Like it's like he can be relate to a health issue. So coach, we work the difference. Like we work with sessions that you have a begin and you have an end, and you work with a goal to achieve one goal that your client is looking for. So if you see that the person like needs like kind of more psychological or like kind of like that, kind of like more the help, we will, it's like you better look for like something that give you more support than you know. That's how also kind of like our job to guide, like, you don't you think that you need kind of more than that, you know what I mean? So
how like when is it too late to get a mom coach? Like how early do you start working with parents, and how late could their children be like adults? You know what I mean? Like what's a normal window of time, or like a age maybe that someone's children? Exactly.
any age. I usually works with like first time moms. But motherhood, like mom coach can take care of any moms. Like it's always like something, your mom, like will always be a mom, right? Like especially if it's something related to your motherhood or what you're going through, like your daily life and your time. It's a good time. Like seeking for help is always a good time.
Well, and you know, first time mom usually means the first time like your first child, but I have heard phrases like first time mom of more than one kid, and how that's like a whole other scenario. And so I can imagine adding another child could
Yeah.
be a pretty big
Yeah,
change
because they
and
say
create
like
new
every
challenges too.
child is different, right? Like we become like a new mom every time like another child comes to the world. Like it just kind of like pregnancy is different, like labor is different. That's all different. That's the other thing. Like it's actually relates to your work. That's very important to talk about. It's just kind of like as you know, like many other people don't know, like I can share in another time like how my labor, my birth was not like very satisfying, and that like caused like some frustrations, especially in the beginning, like the first like let's say 6 months, 1 year, until like you really overcome and
Yeah.
accept that situation. So it could be with breastfeeding, like as I said, dealing with the unknown and things not happen the way you plan it, it can be frustrating. I think like once you become a mom, it's just kind of like learning how to see the big picture.
Hmm.
And like I remember going to like a dentist and having to manage my time, breastfeeding, getting a dentist. I was 1 hour late. This dentist was just like such like he was awesome, and but it comes with the empathy, right? He had his wife also just had like a baby,
Hmm.
and he said like when I sat on a chair, he said, just take a deep breath, you're here, we'll take care of you, everything's fine, it's fine.
It's
And
perfect.
then I was telling him how like I was feeling frustrated. I was late because I had to feed her, and then I had to change my clothes because I was all wet and blah blah blah. And he said like once you become a mom, you never like completely happy. Like you are frustrated because you have to breastfeed and are wet. My wife is at home frustrated because she wasn't able to breastfeed. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? So it just kind of like
exact opposite.
we sometimes we can't have everything, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
anyways, it just kind of like I think my own experience too was just made me feel like I have to do this, I have to kind of like try to help others and make a difference and give like them a better experience for the first year,
Hmm.
2 years, because the first like early years of their child, and they have kind of like more joy. Is the other thing like people just how can I say romanticize like the situation.
Romanticize.
Yeah, romanticize the situation.
Yes. Yeah.
And when you're going through those like days that are you're not sleeping, things are not happening the way you want to, your hair just all messy, you're all wet like breastfeeding, it just how can it be, like that moment be beautiful, right? But like after a while that you can align that situation and you look back, it's just like, oh my gosh, it was beautiful, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you just need to learn how to see the situation and manage it in a way that it's kind of more easier. It just like more, how can I say, lighter. It just kind of like lighter on your daily life. You know, like you learn how to manage those like what it really matters. You know, like
Yeah.
do I really care if my hair just all messy when my child is like he give me smiles and all healthy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just anyways, try to be positive in those things that it will pass. Like moms, they're overwhelmed and watching us right now, I would say we will pass, and someday we'll miss that moment.
Yeah. Well, and I like the idea of just being able to get help. The word overwhelm, I think, comes up a lot and would be a really common feeling. And just having support to not feel overwhelmed because, I mean, you're right. There are um, so many aspects that are beautiful, but feel so hectic or frantic or not beautiful in the moment. But then you realize everyone else is going through it. And certainly when you get your like a support system, if you have access to a support system, whether that's a mom coach or for your physical rehab or whatever, it does a lot. And I know that when you have time also one-on-one, especially like a full hour just dedicated to yourself and to someone listening to you, how that is so helpful already. Just that you got to say how you feel and describe some of your challenges to somebody, especially if it's someone who is there to listen to you with the specific purpose of helping you,
Mm-hmm.
whether that's organizing your time or helping you know your options or just reflecting back to you like here, here's what you're saying. You said you already have all the tools. It's kind
Yeah.
of recognizing where they are and yeah.
The other thing that's important to mention is just kind of like just thinking about your work. Um, in the beginning, like moms also just kind of like don't realize like maybe in the first couple months after you had your baby, they have like when they are having intimacy time with their husband, they may have pain or they may like no, they don't feel anything. They're
Do
not
clients bring that up with you?
yes,
Oh,
like
wow.
yeah, so they don't feel anything
Okay.
like this body here. It's just related like you and your baby, you're just one yet. Just be kind and patient to yourself. And
Mhm.
I'm sure like if you talk ahead with your husband about that, he will be like living the same special moment. He will be happy just to kind of like keep caring for that child too,
Yeah.
like. And sometimes like
Wow. Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that
so
people
like
brought that topic
your
up. Yeah.
body's not the same. Sometimes you're not happy with your body.
Hmm.
You're not in shape, so you're not feeling like, because you're not gonna have some intimate time just for him. You want to have for yourself too, right? And
Yeah.
sometimes like you're like your breast is just full of milk. So it's just those things that it's just so overwhelming. As I said, like your wife, your daughter, your friend, and now you also mom, right?
Right.
So it's just like one more task adding to your life, and it takes time, like. And sometimes you have just to focus in on one thing, get this, just adjust it, and then you can open to more things little by little, right? But just be kind to yourself, because like so many things can happen in the beginning of your like motherhood, right? Like can be physical, can be emotional, it just so much going on. And as I said, can be like uh with your relationship, physical relationship with your husband, can be like a communication, because it's just so much going on and you don't have time to talk, you're not sleeping, you're not expressing, like just expressing
Well,
yourself
work.
well.
If you have to go back to work, or maybe you worked for yourself and you're trying to re-navigate that, that's a whole other, I think, a
Hmm.
giant
Yeah.
one for a lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot. So helping, like having someone just to help you to guide through that new situation, it can be really helpful. It was helpful for me. Like that's the reason why I'm doing that, because I had to seek for help, and I found that like it like just opened like a window in my life. You know what I mean?
That's
It's like,
good.
whoa, because
When did you get help? Like when did you have a coach? When did that window open for you? How far
so
postpartum were you?
to be honest with you, like I was resisting a little bit to get the help, because for me, whatever I was feeling was real. Like the issue that I was having was not just like uh, completely like hormones and it, like you know. And then Clarice was about 6 months when I decided to kind of really look for that type of help. And then like he talking to the person like yeah, you have like how can I say, tangible things that you have to work on. And then like it was just so helpful to hear that. And okay, so I know I have tangible things that I have to work on. How can I fix that?
So
You
you got
know?
a plan. You ended
Yes.
up having a plan, and did that make you feel good? Like now I can work on something.
Yeah. So that was really helpful. Just realizing that's the piece of my puzzle that I need to work. That's
Hmm.
my full picture. How am I going to place that piece in my puzzle so
Hmm.
that I can see the full picture? You know what I mean? Because sometimes you're just so overwhelmed in a problem that you just able to see that little piece, and you're
Sure.
not able to see the beauty of the big picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, anyways, it was really helpful to get that type of help and be able to see the beauty of the big picture of my family, of my life, all the chances I was having to be that time basically a full-time mom. Short after that, I was working as a back working as a teacher just for a couple hours. Also respecting myself, right? Because I was comparing myself like how moms can work full time and be just fine, right? But that's what I decide to do for my life. Be like um, almost a full-time mom. I was just living in the evenings to teach, and I was not having a babysitter. It was like when Dan was able to watch for her, and I will take back. I had a babysitter when he was not available. I had always like someone watching her just for a couple hours. Um, Someone I trust, I felt comfortable. It's all those things, right? Like you
Right.
have to kind of like find your own path. Like I
Yeah.
just completely, like, I just kind of like keep repeating the same thing. Do the things it comes from your heart. Do the things that's right for you, right? So I my goal and like of course some moms they don't have the same chance opportunity that I had to be like home with my child. Um,
Yeah.
some they have to work no matter what, like they have to help with the income in the house, blah blah blah. But I had that, and I learned how to be happy, like in so many things I was able to do to make my life better. One thing that I if I can like just leave as a suggestion, have a routine, like every morning.
Routine.
hmm Going for a walk with your baby, and you have like the like some exercise, some like sunlight, have quality time with your
Are you
baby.
suggesting that exercise and sunlight are part of the routine, or are you just giving the example?
No, it is like
Love that.
it's something
Yes.
important to have every day. um Especially because like it's funny, you know, I think you asked me that like how Clarice was able to sleep through the night so early on. She's 2 months and a half when she started sleeping through the night. Babies, they don't know what is day and night, so you have to teach them what is day and night. So like burning energy and taking them out, like I used to do like he walks, like I used to look like when's going to be, what time's going to be sunset today. And I used to leave 1 hour before sunset and go for a walk with her, and do like the bedtime routine. But as she was able to see the sun coming down, it's time to go home and take like a warm shower or bath, having some milk, reading stories, turn off, like just bring the lights down in her bedroom. And she was able to sleep through the night. Of course, that was not overnight, but having a good night of sleep, it can make it as a huge difference in mom's life. So,
Yes.
um,
So all of that to say that that routine is part of bringing like a stability for you as the mom, and then help with the sleep for the,
yeah. And
because you're
of course,
saying that like
that's what I did for myself. And I keep repeating, like I can like share my own experience, but as I said, every family, every mom, every child, they're unique, and you find your own way, your own routine, and through questions, through like coach tools, you'll find your own way. You know what I
yeah.
mean? I can give you my experience. It doesn't mean I'm implying that the way I did for me will work for you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yep. Okay. So do you do coaching mostly online, phone, or in person, or are all of those options available?
So especially with this whole like pandemic situation, we'll be doing all like online.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll be doing it all online. It can be like through like WhatsApp, it can be through like Zoom or just phone call. However, like
Mhm.
mom will feel most comfortable. Like that's the most important thing. How whatever works for them.
Good, good. You know, I almost forgot something. Um, some of the specific examples we were talking about earlier about why you would have a mom coach, how the mom coach can help. I was tying in, or we were both tying in physical issues, right? Because I'm a physical therapist. So, again, if I said this in the beginning, but there are some people who have joined in along the way. I wanted to interview you because I use a holistic approach with my clients and make sure that we're addressing lifestyle factors that contribute to healing and rehab. So that includes stress management, diet, exercise, and maybe some other things too. So coaching different types of coaches, and specifically a mom coach would be relevant to postpartum rehab. And so that's why we're doing this. But I wanted to mention that postpartum physical healing lasts arguably 15 to 24 months. Like I would say there are a lot of females I work with who don't feel, or who, I should say it this way, who realize that some physical changes in their body are not even finished until their child is like almost 2, or if they produce milk for a really long time, they notice there's still changes when they finish lactating, which could be several years out. So, or if you have multiple children in a row, like every couple of years, there you may not be back to your pre-pregnancy hormonal state until you're completely done having kids and producing milk. So the physical rehab time frame can last a really long time, and it's much more than the 6-week check, which is still common. It's much more in the first 3 months, like 3 to 4 months is the earliest current recommendation on returning to higher intensity exercise. And that's not going full on into it. That's starting to gradually do it. So, so it's longer than those 3 to 4 months. It takes a really long time for like scar tissue to completely remodel and heal. So the point of all that is that like that the physical components that may lead someone to have stress in their life, or to be trying to juggle what they need to do to feel better in their body, to be able to do things without like pain, or handle their children and not be like leaking, like incontinence or something. All of those things can continue on for so much longer than I think people realize is common. Mm-hmm. And I think that I know that for some people, dealing with those things in the context of also raising the new child, or having a second child, now you have multiple children, or also working, that a mom coach, I think, seems like a really great member of the team to kind of rehab everything, help you manage everything.
Yeah, I would say like that's something I always also repeat. The recommendations that we hear in a plane, like you put a mask on yourself first and then help assist the child. I'm a believer, you have to take care of yourself first. And I say like caring for yourself is not being selfish. It's a sign. It's like a it's a sign of love for the others, like around you, for your child, for your husband. Because if you're happy, if you're happy with yourself, you'll be more pleasant to be around. You'll be able to kind of like to help them better. It's just so important to take care of yourself. And you saying all those things, I feel like it's still like a taboo. People sometimes feel like embarrassed. They don't want to talk about those things. And I say, like, I can totally share with you, like the first couple, I have like a C-section, but in the first couple months after I had Clarice, I couldn't hold my own pee. It is just so embarrassing. And sometimes people don't talk about those things, and you really need to seek for help. You know what I mean? And it just thinks they're normal, and you need to find a support group that you can hear from them and find the empathy. It's like, oh,
exactly,
me too. You know what I mean? Like I'm going through the same thing. So it just kind of like it just physical, emotional things. They're connected. If you take care of yourself, like it's like whoever's watching this and they need some tips, you can send me a direct, and I can send you some tips about like what you can do to nurture like your body and your mind. But if I can say like one thing, like make sure you drink enough water. Whatever you eat, it's so important. Give you energy and like a better energy and mood to go through the day. Things that I was doing, like I was breastfeeding like average 2-3 hours. It's embarrassing to say.
I have to get my battery. I'm sorry,
Okay.
everybody. This is like my first time doing this, and I need to
No
plug
worries.
in
So
my. I need to plug
just
in the
leave the
cord.
phone in there, and I'll keep talking, and you bring.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Keep going with that.
Okay. So, anyways, and the other thing is making sure you eat well. Like the first couple months, I basically was like eating chocolate and drinking coffee. So it just like you have to get enough nutrients in your body. The other thing, I was feeling really frustrated in the first year of my motherhood. I wasn't able to read any books until I went to this like meeting with a bunch of other moms, and they're giving suggestions like something so simple, audiobook. Like it's just so hard to find time and energy for reading. So audiobooks, they're pretty helpful. I was telling like whoever's watching how the first year of motherhood is just hard to find time for reading, and that can like make a difference in mom's life. And I was in a group with other moms, and someone suggested audiobooks. So I used to go for like walks with Clarice, and I could like read books, like just hearing the books, doing dishes, whatever, and prioritizing like whatever it's important to you. Let's say, can you like make a phone call when your child is awake? You have to wait for their nap. So just prioritizing, organizing your time. So yeah. So anyways, whoever like uh are you interested, like you have like this like 10 tips for the first year of motherhood, how can you like have like a lighter life and a more joyful life? I have some tips that you can do in the first year of motherhood. So but the three things that I think it's really important is audiobook. It's really helpful, because it's just really hard to find time energy for reading in the first year of motherhood. um, Making sure that you exercise and you drink and eat well. So I think those things are really important. Also, not trying to find time for yourself, creating time for yourself. It's
Creating.
really,
Yes.
yeah, that's really important. And if it's not something like it's hard on you, at least like he develop the exercising that like moment. Because for me it was hard to like I was so attached to her that be far away from her was not that easy. So you do like 30
To
minutes,
like
1 hour.
practice.
You have to
Practice
practice
it.
it.
Yeah.
And
Get
like
better.
once you do and truly like spend time for yourself, you will see how that makes so much difference. You come home because when you can relax and have time for yourself, you can give yourself better to your child, for your husband, for your family.
Yes. Yes.
Again, it's like relate to the mask again, right? Like
And
if
the same is true for it's the same is true for the physical rehab. So
mhm.
it's really this all really does fit together as far as holistically like how to help yourself as a in this sense as a mom
Mhm.
as a parent. And um so tell again like how someone would contact you. What's your preferred method for contact for if someone wanted to look into your coaching services?
So right now my website is not completely done. Will be like hopefully in less than a month. But you can
Yay!
find all my information in Instagram. You can send me a direct, or if you prefer, you can send me an email to aconchegomomcoach@gmail.com, or you can just send me a direct. You can find all my information through Instagram. You can contact me through
Excellent.
Instagram.
Okay. Well, thank you. If anyone watching has follow-up questions, you can send them directly to Claudia or to me, and I will save this and post it so you can rewatch it, comment on there, or on my website. I mean, obviously, Instagram if you're on here right now, but I do my website. So if you want to look for other contact information that way, that's fine. But um, thank you so much for your time. I learned a
Thank
lot.
you.
I actually didn't know that much about, like, there's so much more. I think the variety of topics that people probably bring to you is so much more than I expected. And the tips that you gave are so helpful and really feed so much into mental and physical well-being. And so what you're doing is really admirable. It's a really needed work out there. And I think so many people will benefit from working with you if they do. So.
Yeah, that's so important to find your own balance without comparing yourself to others. Find your own balance, and it means like emotional and physical own balance.
Yep. Yeah, even just hearing you talk, I'm like, you're so motivating, but that's what a coach is. Like, that's a coach, like cheering you
Yeah.
on and helping you, like guide you. So,
And that works
thank
like
you.
for good, you know, like once like you work with a coach or with me, you learn like some techniques to coach yourself, you know, like because like I work as a coach, it doesn't mean like I don't have down days. I have like some days that I feel kind of like more like whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to re-coach myself and re-energize myself and feel like I can do this. Which tools I have that I can change my day and make my day better and keep myself positive, you know, because the only thing that you have control is on yourself, you know, like the way you see life, you know what I mean? So that you can control.
And these are skills you'll always have once you learn them. So, I do have one more question and then we'll wrap up. We're kind of just free flowing here. Again, if you just joined, I'm going to save this or at least attempt to and post it so you can rewatch. But do you give handouts or like any tangible things to people, like, or do you send them files like handouts, tips on it or anything like that? Or is
Yes,
it
we do. And
conversational?
actually, yes, for sure. And whoever's watching this, or even if it's been recorded, you send me a direct. I have this freebie that is the 10 tips that will make your life better for the first couple years of motherhood, and that includes like explaining how like you can like hydrate yourself, how can you find time or create time for exercise, or about like audiobooks, books that you can read. All those tips that I can send like a freebie to whoever like send me a direct. I can send my freebie because I don't have my website right to go right now, but I have the freebie and I can send through a direct. And then of course like through the sessions we do to like some handouts, exercise. You always go on with some like exercise, not much because you know how our really busy, and it will like setting goals, achievable goals also are really important so that you don't get frustrated, you know. So just doing enough that you feel accomplished.
Perfect. Okay. Well, thank you.
And you're welcome.
And
thank you so much for having me.
I'll keep, thanks. I'll keep a lookout for your website and have a good weekend. Is it Saturday? I don't even know what day it is.
Oh my gosh, it's going to be so hot this couple of days.
Yeah, you're in Texas. Take it easy out there. Okay.
Okay. Bye. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.